Hello everyone, today we are venturing deep into the lush green canopies of Southeast Asia's tropical rainforests to meet one of the most extraordinary and underappreciated creatures on our planet, the Colugo, also widely known as the flying lemur. This small elusive mammal is not a lemur, not a monkey, and not a bat, yet it has evolved into nature's ultimate gliding machine, capable of soaring more than 200 meters through the air with incredible control, grace, and efficiency. In this episode, we will uncover every amazing detail of the Colugo's life, from its one-of-a-kind body structure, built for gliding, its secretive nocturnal habits, its gentle, plant-based diet, its unique way of raising young, to its critical role in the forest ecosystem, and the challenges it faces in a changing world. This is a story of evolutionary brilliance, quiet survival, and the breathtaking beauty of wildlife, adapted perfectly to its home, high above the forest floor. Let us start with the basics. What exactly is a Colugo? Scientifically, Colugos belong to their very own unique order, called Dermoptera, a word that comes from ancient Greek, meaning skin wing. There are only two living species of Colugos left on Earth, the Sunda Colugo, which lives across Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Sunda Shelf Islands, and the Philippine Colugo, which is found only in the forests of the Philippines. These two species make up the entire family, Cynocephalidae, making Colugos one of the most evolutionarily distinct groups of mammals on the planet. Despite being called flying lemurs, they are not closely related to true lemurs, which live in Madagascar. Instead, genetic studies have shown that Colugos are among the closest living relatives of primates, which includes humans, monkeys, and apes. This surprising connection makes them even more fascinating to scientists who study the evolution of mammals and tree-dwelling life. Now, let us talk about the Colugo's most iconic feature, the patagium, the extraordinary skin membrane that turns it into a living glider. Unlike flying squirrels, whose gliding membranes only stretch between their front and back legs, the Colugo's patagium is the largest and most complete of any gliding mammal. It stretches continuously from the sides of its neck all the way to the tips of its fingers, its toes, and the very end of its tail. Even the small spaces between its fingers and toes are webbed, just like a bat's wing, to maximize the surface area that catches the air. This membrane is thin, flexible, and covered in soft, dense fur that helps the Colugo blend into tree bark and stay warm in the cool upper canopy. When the Colugo is resting or climbing, it folds this membrane neatly against its body, looking like a small fuzzy mammal clinging to a tree trunk. But when it spreads all four limbs wide and leaps into the air, the patagium opens up into a perfect, kite-shaped sail that can carry it farther and more smoothly than any other gliding mammal on Earth. What makes the Colugo's gliding ability truly legendary is not just the distance it can cover, but the precision and efficiency of every flight. Many people have heard that Colugos can glide up to 200 meters or more in a single leap, roughly the length of 2 full basketball courts laid end to end. What is even more impressive is how little height they lose during these long glides. In many cases, a Colugo can glide 100 meters or more, while dropping only 10 to 12 meters, a shallow angle that saves an enormous amount of energy. This efficiency is crucial for the Colugo's survival because it spends its entire life in the forest canopy and almost never touches the ground. Gliding allows it to move quickly between feeding trees, escape from tree-dwelling hunters like birds of prey and snakes, and claim territory without expending the energy needed for climbing or true flight. The Colugo also has amazing control. Mid-glide, it can twist its body, adjust the tension of its patagium with small muscle movements, and even make sharp turns to avoid branches or aim for a specific landing spot. When it approaches its target tree, it pulls its limbs slightly inward to slow down, then lands gently on the trunk with its sharp, curved claws, digging into the bark for a firm grip. It can land with such accuracy that it rarely misses or stumbles, even after gliding hundreds of meters through dense leaves and branches. To support this incredible gliding lifestyle, the Colugo's entire body is finely tuned for life in the air and the treetops. It has a small, lightweight frame, usually 35 to 40 centimeters long, and weighing just 1 to 2 kilograms, light enough to glide easily, but sturdy enough to withstand the forces of landing. Its limbs are long, slender, and evenly proportioned, which helps it spread its patagium evenly and maintain balance in the air. It has large, forward-facing eyes that give it exceptional binocular vision and night vision, perfect for a nocturnal animal that navigates dark canopies and judges distances for gliding. Its ears are small and rounded, able to pick up soft sounds of predators or movement in the leaves. One of the Colugo's most unusual physical traits is its teeth. Its lower incisor teeth are shaped like tiny combs with up to 20 sharp tines on each tooth. These cone-like teeth are used for grooming its soft fur and scraping nutrients from young leaves, which make up most of its diet. Speaking of diet, Colugos are gentle, strict herbivores that feed only on plant matter found high in the canopy. They are specialized folivores, meaning their favorite food is young, tender leaves, which are easier to digest and full of nutrients. They also eat soft shoots, sweet flowers, sticky tree sap, and ripe fruits when available. Their digestive systems are specially adapted to break down tough plant fibers. They have long intestines and specialized stomachs that ferment fibrous leaves, turning them into energy. Because leaves do not provide a lot of calories, Colugos move slowly and conserve energy most of the time, which is why gliding is such a perfect way for them to travel. It uses far less energy than climbing or running. They are solitary animals for most of their lives, coming together only to mate, and they defend small feeding territories in the canopy by gliding between their favorite trees and avoiding other Colugos. You might think an animal that glides so beautifully would be an amazing climber, but the truth is, quite funny and surprising, Colugos are actually quite clumsy when climbing trees. They do not have opposable thumbs like monkeys or squirrels, so they cannot grip branches tightly with one hand while reaching with the other. Instead, they move up tree trunks in slow, careful hops, using their sharp, curved claws to cling to rough bark. They are just as comfortable hanging underneath a branch as sitting on top of it, and they spend most of the day resting in hidden spots, like tree hollows, dense clumps of leaves, or hanging upside down under thick branches. This hidden resting style keeps them safe from predators that hunt during the day, such as eagles, hawks, and large snakes. As soon as the sun sets and darkness falls over the rainforest, Colugos wake up and become active, spending the entire night gliding from tree to tree, feeding carefully, and exploring their canopy home. Another heartwarming and unique part of the Colugo's life is how it raises its young. Female Colugos give birth to only one tiny baby at a time after a gestation period of about 2 to 2.5 months. The newborn Colugo is small, underdeveloped, and completely helpless, much like a marsupial baby. Instead of leaving it in a nest, the mother carries her baby with her everywhere she goes, even while gliding hundreds of meters through the air. The baby clings tightly to its mother's belly, nestling safely against her fur, and folding itself into the curve of her patagium. The mother's membrane acts like a soft, warm pouch that protects the baby from wind branches and danger during every glide. The baby will stay with its mother, clinging to her belly, and learning how to climb and glide for about 6 months to a year, until it is strong and independent enough to live on its own. This gentle parenting method is perfectly adapted to the Colugo's canopy lifestyle, where nests on the ground or exposed branches would be far too dangerous for a defenseless baby. For thousands and thousands of years, Colugos have thrived in the old-growth, tropical rainforests of Southeast Asia, playing a quiet but important role in the forest ecosystem. As they feed on leaves, flowers, and fruits, they help spread small seeds through their droppings, supporting the growth of new trees and keeping the forest healthy. Their presence also provides food for natural predators, balancing the population of the canopy community. Because they are so well adapted to their habitat, Colugos do not do well in forests that have been cut down, broken apart, or disturbed by human activity. Today, the biggest threat to Colugos is habitat loss caused by deforestation, as rainforests are cleared for agriculture, logging, and urban development. When the canopy is broken or destroyed, Colugos cannot glide between trees, find enough food, or stay safe from predators. Both species of Colugos are now considered vulnerable to extinction, and scientists are working hard to learn more about them so we can protect their forest homes and ensure their survival. What makes the Colugo so special is not just its incredible gliding skill, but its status as a living example of evolution's endless creativity. It is a creature that did not need to grow wings to fly, did not need to be large to be powerful, and did not need to be loud to survive. It lives a quiet, gentle life, high above the chaos of the forest floor, moving through the air with a grace that no human-made machine can fully copy. For many people living outside Southeast Asia, the Colugo is still a little-known secret of the natural world, but those who study it or see it in the wild describe it as one of the most magical animals in the rainforest. It reminds us that even in the most well-explored parts of our planet, there are still amazing creatures waiting to be understood and appreciated. As we wrap up our journey into the world of the Colugo, Nature's ultimate glider, we are left with a deep sense of wonder at how life can adapt to even the most unique challenges. The Colugo's 200-meter glides. Its soft fur, its large night eyes, and its gentle way of life all tell a story of patience, perfection, and harmony with nature. It is a small animal with a superpower, living in one of Earth's most beautiful habitats, and it deserves our care, our respect, and our effort to protect its home. The next time you think of amazing animal abilities, do not just think of flying birds or running big cats. Remember, the Colugo, the tiny silent glider of the Southeast Asian rainforests, that can soar farther than almost any other mammal on Earth. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.